Of any of the of your castmates on SGU, who of those do you think, how do I want to put this, helped you grow the most as an actor and as a person?
I mean, they all did in different ways. This is nothing against the script or the people, so let me explain. Reading the script of the pilot before we ever shot it or rehearsed it, just reading it, the characters of TJ and Greer, I thought were like, oh, they're okay. But everyone else was more interesting to me. And then I remember we were filming our first scene together, and I saw Jamil make some choices, and I saw Elena make some choices, and I could not take my eyes off of them. And I went, oh shit, you might be my two favorite characters now. You know, and they're so good. And Elena's become an incredibly good friend, bestie of mine. She's so good and so good to watch. And I have a clear memory while shooting, funny enough, the episode Water, where Robert Carlyle and I were acting as Rush and Eli, and we were yelling at each other as the gate was going off and people were doing stuff, and they said cut, and I was like, what do you mean cut? Oh God, we're acting. Like, I forgot we were acting because I was so in it. So doing the rewatch on my Twitch channel now on Saturdays, watching some choices people made that I forgot about, like Louis losing his mind and Trial and Error. You're like, God, you're so good. And then as a person, you know, we all got close real fast. We were a very close cast. We hung out constantly. We watched episodes together. But I would say that me, Brian, and Elise at the time hung out the most together. Brian, I think, is an amazing actor and an amazing human being. And I remember I was in London for a convention, and it just happened to coincide with him doing Glass Menagerie on the West End, where he was nominated for an Olivier Award. And I went and watched him, and I had forgotten about Glass Menagerie. I forgot because I hadn't read it since college. I knew he was the gentleman caller, and I'm like, oh, cool, what's your background? Like, I literally didn't even place in my head. He came on stage, and he was such a force. And we went out for drinks afterwards and hung out all night. And I was like, dude, you're living the dream. You're on a show where you travel the world, Sense8 at the time. You then got nominated for Tony, got nominated for an Olivier Award. You live on the West End right now. You're doing amazing work. Also, as a fat kid, he at the time, he was like living above a bakery. And I was like, it always smells like pastries. I'm like, dude, you're my idol. You know, like everyone on that show was so good and also such a great person. Mm-hmm. And so it's part of the reason we all still keep in contact now. We were more of a family than we were workers, you know?
Yeah, in season 2, you all moved next to each other. You all share the same block, if I understand correctly.
Which is funny, because back then, Elena and I didn't see each other much. And now, like, well, when we can, we see each other all the time. It's funny.
I thought in many respects, this is an off-topic thing, that Elena was in many ways a better commander than medic. And I would have loved to have seen like a couple or 3 alternate reality episodes where she was in command of that ship, because she could do it. And it's like in episodes like Water, where we do see her take on the command role. You know, part of me is like, well, where does Louis fit then if she's going to do that? But like her and Jamil didn't get nearly enough screen time.
But, you know, it's also really hard to be blunt about it. It's really hard in an ensemble cast as a writer and as an actor, because you can't shine a light everywhere. Even when you're writing a pilot, a first episode, you want to show all 10 characters. You can't. You won't sell it, and nobody will watch it. You have to introduce them to a few and then grow the others. And so that was a problem. And it's funny from an actor perspective, I'll tell you, everyone is so good. I don't think I've ever said this in an interview. Everyone is so good that I remember in season 2, we're all friends, watching an episode with Patrick Gilmore in it. And I went, wait, I haven't done as much in the past 2 episodes, and he's so good. Oh no, they're replacing me with him. I remember having that thought and then going, wait, no, like there's room for everyone. It's fine. But it was this weird moment of, I realized I hadn't done much for a couple of episodes. It happens, you know, the time off is nice, but it happens. And it doesn't mean anything, you know, and I'm in season 2, which is where we're at with the rewatch on the watch parties on my Twitch. Now Elena's stories are starting to come to the forefront, and, you know, we get to see more of Greer's childhood and all these things that we didn't get before. And it's kind of why I loved SGU. Sorry to preach to the choir here, but it's kind of why I liked SGU. even at the beginning, people were like, it's not fast enough. Like the first few episodes, like, come on, quick.
It's slower, yeah.
And I like that as a fan of other shows too. I like a slow burn.
And
as
look
a
at
writer,
modern television.
Well, yeah, well, we were a little bit ahead, but I like it because you get invested in the characters more. I think I actually said this at my first convention. I said, give it a few episodes. You'll be more invested later. And it's so beautiful to see people say it now. Like, I care so much. Why? And I'm like, it's because you took the time to get to know them.
Well, you took the journey with them. Season 1, they are the wrong people in the wrong place. In season 2, they are forced to become the right people to deal with their situation and rise above their station in life and what they were expected to do. That was the point of the show. The series ends at the end of Act 1 of a 3-act play. Yeah. I mean, at least that's how I look at it.
I respect them for that. And, you know, I hate to address any sort of negative stuff, but since that Lou Diamond Phillips interview came out recently and people ask me all the time, the premiere of it was an unfortunate perfect storm of events. But they knew where they were going. I trust, and still do, the producers and creators of this show. Even when they wanted to make it, I respected the hell out of them that they wanted to try something new in the world they created. And they didn't want to do more of the same. And I don't think anybody wanted to watch more of the same. You know, I hate quoting people who aren't in the room, but I think Brad put it in an interview once. He's like, Daniel Jackson became a superhero, which is so cool. But
he became an angel.
When you're a god, there's no risk.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the prequel of Han Solo. It's like Solo.
Right.
Like, they're like, are we going to survive? And as an audience, you're like, yeah, because you're in the next movie. Like, you're absolutely going to survive. So when you lose that risk, it gets harder. Well, by meeting a new group of people who could die at any given moment that aren't superheroes, it gives them new stories to explore. So I really respect that as a writer, but also take the fact that I was in it out. As a fan, I would have watched SGU and loved it at the time.
It's great to have you, man. I'm so grateful that you play an active role in the community. It's so nice to have people involved in such a great project who know the quality of the work that it was and appreciate the fan base for what it is. So
yeah, we would not work. Don't let any person, actor, writer, producer, director tell you different. We do it for you. We would not have jobs if it was not for fandom.
Yep.
Now, that being said, you still have to create the stories you want to tell and hope it finds an audience. But literally means the world to us that you care.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not everything is going to land with everybody, but you have to create what you believe in and hope that it connects with someone else. And that's
build it and they will come.
That's exactly right, Kevin Costner. All righty, my friend. Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.